But before then, we had a sit-down. Of course, our very own Daniel Wahome had a sit-down with the Nakuru governor, Ali Kinyanjui, on the same. Let's first of all listen to it, then get back to this live conversation.
On the 3rd of June 2021, the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee of the Senate held a debate about an application by the municipality of Nakuru to be elevated to city status. It was accepted, and that means it now goes to His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta so that a charter could be awarded. Kenya has got one country that has, one city that has been awarded a charter, and we are talking about Nairobi City. It was awarded a charter 61 years ago. And about 20 years ago, Kisumu and Mombasa were given city status by former President Daniel Arap Moi. The conversation about their charter is still out there, but there is this application. It's been 2 years in the working and looks like we could have another city. The background for it: population 250,000 people minimum, and the capacity to support the revenue and also public service works that are part of it. Simple word: utilities. Nakuru County Governor, the Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, speaks about this. The first question that I would like to put forward is the concept of having Nakuru municipality elevated to city status.
Thank you. So I want to confirm that from around 2017-2018, we mapped out the whole of Nakuru, specifically the municipal part of it, and we tried to look at ways in which we can be able to spur economic growth, increase the infrastructural investments, and also create employment for our people. And it became necessary to look at both the level or the categorization of Nakuru at that particular time. And after further consultation, it was felt that we needed to elevate ourselves so that we could reach a level where we could also be able to attract more investment, more tourists, more industrialists, and so on and so forth. We therefore made an application through the county assembly. I set a committee that looked into those issues. A report was made to the county assembly. We later on presented that report to the Senate, and it has been a long journey until the 3rd of June, when the Senate consented to our request. But of importance is the fact that being the fourth city in Kenya, sometimes people say, do you want to develop, then become a city, or do you become a city and therefore attract development? So we are very conscious. By that categorization of Nakuru as a city, we're going to attract huge investments, both from government, from private players, and even those who are already here and investing in one area, they will want to expand. So we see the fortunes of Nakuru changing dramatically in the coming days, and we are happy to be part of that journey.
One of the biggest legacies of Nakuru is its cleanliness. We grew up learning about Nakuru being the cleanest town in East Africa. I think Moshi overtook you, then you took it back in 2011. Tell us about the water, sanitation, and waste management status of Nakuru at the moment.
Okay, we have had challenges because in the last 10 years, the population has nearly doubled. Sometimes when you have a good reputation, it has also the unintended consequence of attracting more people, and consequently the population gets big. With a bigger population than what you can host, you have all those attendant issues like trading places, cleanliness, and all that. And therefore, to that extent, those are the issues now we want to address under the city platform, where, like we said, we are going to have city marshals, city cleaners, and all those sort of issues. But bottom line, we also want now to come up with, every city has its own personality, its own theme. And the theme of cleanliness must be part of Nakuru. And no matter how many cleaners we get, the first thing is to ensure you don't drop that banana,
Banana peel on the street.
Yeah, so the cleanliness does not start when the cleaner comes. It starts with you, not dropping it wherever you want to put it. And I know many people will get into the vehicle, buy some yogurt, finish it, and just throw it outside. So it's a really sort of culture change that we really want to inculcate, and I believe it is possible. We have started the journey. We want everybody to be part of this conversation, and I believe in another 5 or so years, people will see a different part of Nakuru. And because of the geographical positioning of Nakuru, just like 150 to Nyeri, 150 to Eldoret, to Kisumu, some 200 to, all the big places, including Nairobi. So in terms of the centrality and making business decisions for anybody who wants to set up base, Nakuru offers a major attraction. So ours is to improve the infrastructure to be able to hold some of these things that otherwise will come and improve where we're going.
Nakuru is a transit town. The highway to the west passes through the city. You could tell us about that, the road networks, and also how to plan an important aspect of every urban place in the country, public transport.
So with respect to road connections, I think, like I said, we have good road connection with, Kericho, with Kisumu, Eldoret, Nyeri, Nairobi. But the route from Nairobi to Nakuru has been suffering from congestion, trucks and all that. And for that reason, at one level, there is a revival of the railway, which will help us to remove part of the cargo from the road to the rail. And then there's a dualing of the road from Nairobi to here, which again is going to make sure that the road is expanded, and therefore we have a better traffic flow and reduced time. We actually anticipate that a drive from Nairobi to Nakuru will on average take 1 hour 20 minutes upon the completion of the expressway. So these are huge attractions when it comes to connection by road. We have also started the construction of the Lanet Airport, which is also going to give Nakuru the aviation sort of connection across East Africa. So when you put all this together, and with that again comes other opportunities, both for business and also for other aspects of enterprise and tourism and all those issues. So in terms of connection, there is a huge approach towards streamlining our connection network.
How far has Nakuru gone on improving the facilities that were taken over from the national government and also the former local authorities?
I think when it comes to health, we have basically looked at it from an infrastructure point of view, which means increase the bed capacity, increase our theaters and so on. And in all our sub-counties, we have been able to put up a level 4 hospital. It's only in Subukia and Rongai that we are starting in the coming financial year. But in all these others, we have already started something. It's also important to note that we have introduced some services that were previously not there, including oncology, which was really a big challenge for people who had to travel for cancer treatment in Nairobi. On the issue of personnel, we have also looked for specialists so that some of those conditions that would require that we refer patients to far and wide are also addressed within reach. So I think as we move forward, there is a major transformation within the health subsector, and I think we now want to invest in more equipment, more diagnostic equipment, and more specialty sort of approach. In partnership with the national government, we're also coming up with a mental hospital in Gilgil, because we also know that this is one of the areas that has been largely ignored and one that we need to also work around with. So I guess that's where we are for now. And our emergency response, we are on the major highway, on the corridor. And because of that, there are major traffic. Sometimes we have accidents and all that. So we would want to also upgrade our emergency response capabilities to ensure that whatever emergency comes, we can be able to deal with it. And I think this goes a long way in terms of also reducing the risk. Every city has a risk factor, and the degree to which you can respond to emergency contributes to that significantly. We have also adopted a preventive sort of approach. So we are investing in what you call community health workers, people at the very grassroots level who know this is Jane and this is Peter, and they can be able to advise them on their dietary and other sort of issues. So we are dealing with it also from a micro level and also at a very basic family unit level.
One of the things that the Senate considered heavily was the ability of Nakuru to sustain a city status through revenue collection. What's the plan for that to sustain the services and also make the expected city attractive for the business community?
I think revenue collection is a very critical element of every city because you have expenses and you have to meet those expenses. You have services you want to deliver and they must be met. So how do you meet this? So it's important that we try and introduce an efficiency angle, and this is what the Nakuru Revenue Authority is meant to do. So we'll be trying to employ technology, we'll be trying to employ efficiency and professionalism, and our focus mainly is not necessarily to increase the rates and so on, but just to have a higher compliance. Those who are supposed to pay, pay and pay on time. And in return, they can be able now to come up and demand for services because they have paid. We have noted in the past that only about 40% of the people pay for the services. That therefore means that the 40 have to pay for the 100%, so they get overburdened. And that's a conversation we want to engage the residents of Nakuru.
Nakuru County is working with the World Bank, the Urban Development Grant. Tell us about the impact of this facility from the Bretton Woods Institution.
The Kenya Urban Support Program is a program within the World Bank to help the municipalities and other urban areas to develop their infrastructure, and in particular to develop resilience so that they can be able to meet the challenges of urbanization. So here in Nakuru, some of the programs that we are working together with the World Bank include the stadium, the fire engine, some drainage works that we are already doing. And I think moving forward, we are also planning to put street lights and some of those other traffic lighting to manage and control traffic. And all these programs are going to help us to make cities more livable and more user-friendly, and cities that anybody can live, including creation of walkways where people can walk, even the disabled can use their wheelchairs and that kind of thing, motorizing the non-motorized traffic to make it easy. And I think when you do that, when you create walkways, you encourage people to walk, because nobody's going to walk in a road they think they'll be knocked down. So you now begin to see more people walking, therefore a healthy lifestyle, and you avoid some of the conditions that come with a sedentary kind of life.
What opportunities are there that overall for the general public, people who may want to come back to Nakuru when it has the city status?
I think now we are actually coming up with a document that's going to outline that. Are you a farmer? What are the opportunities? Are you a medical professional? What are the opportunities? Are you an industrialist? What are the opportunities? But in a nutshell, I think in every aspect of life that you may want to think of, Nakuru will offer that kind of opportunity. If you talk of transport and logistics, if you talk of ICT, if you talk of developers, if you talk of agriculture, you may know that within Rift Valley, this really was the headquarters. And if Rift Valley is a breadbasket of Kenya then, and you're thinking in the agro industry, then the place to be is Nakuru. So I think we really just need to redefine ourselves, who we are, attract the investors. We have geothermal in Nakuru, and this geothermal can be a major driver in terms of attracting industries here into Nakuru. So all these conversations will play into more opportunities, and depending on where you are, you will be able to find space in Nakuru.
Governor of Nakuru County, the Honorable Kinyanjui, he's given us his insights and the opportunities that are going to come as he waits for Nakuru municipality to get the presidential charter to become a city. It will be Kenya's fourth city after Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, the fourth largest urban area in the country. Let's wait for that and enjoy the county of opportunities. Thank you very much.